How to start a new life. A new life isn't found, it's built. If you want a new life, you must decide. You must design. You must build. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked. You don't stumble into a new life. You construct it, one thought at a time, one decision at a time, one discipline at a time. See, most people don't need more time. They need a new philosophy, a new direction, a new commitment. They spend their days doing just enough to get by, but deep down, they know something's missing. Maybe you've been there, waking up feeling behind before the day even begins, watching opportunities pass like trains you never boarded, waiting for permission, waiting for motivation, waiting for something to change. But let me give it to you straight. Nothing changes until you do. And the good news? You can change. You can reinvent. You can begin again. The question isn't, can you start a new life? The question is, will you? Because if you will, the path is clear. It's not easy, but it's clear. And the first step is this. You must stop drifting. You must make a decision, a real one. If you don't like how things are, change it. You're not a tree. So this journey we're about to take, it's not fantasy. It's not just theory. It's a process for building a new life. Clear, practical, proven. You follow the steps, and brick by brick, you build a future worth living. So let's begin. Let's talk about the first critical piece. Decision. Because without it, nothing else matters. You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. Every new life begins with a wake-up call, a moment of quiet truth. It may not be dramatic. Sometimes it's just a whisper inside your spirit that says, this isn't it. There's more. And friend, when that moment arrives, you can ignore it. You can distract yourself from it, or you can listen, because that quiet whisper may be the invitation to a better life. Most people are walking through life with foggy lenses, busy, distracted, overwhelmed, but never stopping to see themselves. And awareness, true awareness, is the first step to change. Not motivation, not opportunity, not even education. Don't just get through the day. Get from the day. Sit down with a pen. Ask yourself, where am I really? Not where you wish you were. Not where you pretend to be. Where you actually are. Because you can't get to there until you admit where here is. It's hard to change what you refuse to face. It's impossible to escape a trap you won't acknowledge you're in. So awareness is step one. It's uncomfortable, but it's honest. And honesty is the seed of freedom. You don't drift into a new life. You drift into regret. You drift into average. You drift into disappointment. A better life is chosen, designed, and that starts when you wake up. Most people live their lives reacting to bills, to noise, to opinions, to deadlines. Very few people respond with intention. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. And you can't change what you're not even aware of. Start here. Where are you going? Where are you actually heading if nothing changes? What habits are you practicing daily? Are they building the life you want? Or maintaining the one you don't? Who are you spending time with? Are they pulling you forward or pulling you down? What are you believing about yourself? And where did that belief come from? Is it even true? See, the quality of your life will never exceed the quality of the questions you're willing to ask yourself. Sometimes awareness comes through pain, the job loss, the breakup, the rock bottom moment. If you're going through pain right now, don't waste it. Pain is a powerful teacher if you let it be. It's trying to wake you up, not to break you, but to build you. Life and business is like the seasons. You cannot change the seasons, but you can change yourself. You can't control every event in your life, but you can learn from every single one. Want to begin again? Then look in the mirror. Not to blame, but to take responsibility. Because nothing changes until you do. And nothing will change unless you decide it must. Responsibility isn't a burden. It's freedom. The day you graduate from blame is the day your life begins. When you stop waiting for others to change, when you stop hoping for circumstances to improve, and when you start saying, if it's going to be, it's up to me, that's when a new life begins. Awareness may be uncomfortable, but it leads to hope. Why? Because once you see the truth, you can do something about it. You're no longer guessing. You're no longer wandering. You're standing face to face with the truth. And from that place, you can choose something better, something higher, something new. Any day you wish, you can discipline yourself to change it all. Not someday, not when the timing is right, but today. Wake up, pay attention, ask yourself the hard questions, because awareness is the beginning of wisdom, and wisdom builds a new life. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. There comes a moment in every life when you must stop thinking about it, stop talking about it, stop circling around it, and just begin. Not when you're ready, not when it's comfortable, not when the stars align, but now, today, because the truth is you're never really ready. You just decide. Starting a new life doesn't happen by chance. It begins with a decision, a clean, final, unshakable decision. And most people never make it. They tiptoe. They test the water. They hesitate. They say, let me wait till I feel more confident. Let me wait till I'm less afraid. Let me wait for the right time. But friend, waiting for the right time is the wrong strategy. There is no perfect time. There is only your time, and that time is now. Every day you delay your decision, you pay a price. You lose momentum. You lose belief. You lose time. The longer you wait to start your new life, the more the old one sinks its roots in deeper. You get used to settling. You get comfortable being uncomfortable. You make peace with average. We must all suffer one of two things: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The pain of regret, there's six, there's this. The pain of starting, that passes. The pain of never starting, that stays. A true decision is not vague. It's not casual. It's clear. It's specific. It sounds like this: I am leaving this job by March. I am getting my health in order starting today. I will no longer tolerate toxic people in my life. I'm starting that business. I've already scheduled the first meeting. Clarity creates confidence. Clarity creates motion. You don't need to know all the steps. You just need to know the first one and be committed enough to take it. If you're serious, write it down. Don't just let your life be guided by your memory. Let it be guided by your vision. Write your decision on paper. Not someday, not maybe. A clear commitment to yourself. Starting today, I choose to build a new life. I accept the responsibility. I embrace the unknown, and I refuse to turn back. Put your name on it. Sign it. Date it. Read it daily. You are no longer playing. You are becoming. Ever heard of that phrase, burn the boats? It comes from ancient history. A commander told his troops, we're not leaving this shore unless we win. Burn the boats. That's how committed they were. No escape route. No back door. If you want a new life, you got to burn the boats. The excuses. The backup plans. The what ifs. Commit to the point that there's no going back. People change for two reasons. Because they want to, or because they have to. Most wait until life forces them to change. But the wise, they choose to change. They decide before the storm, before the collapse, before the regret. Any day you wish, you can discipline yourself to change it all. You just have to say, that's it. No more. This ends today. The secret is this. You don't need a massive leap. You just need to start. Clean your space. Make that call. Apply for the class. Cancel the toxic relationship. Go for the walk. Tiny moves. But when done with intention, they carry the weight of transformation. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Don't leave the scene of a powerful decision without taking action. Right now, do something. Book the appointment. Write the plan. Speak the truth. Action seals the deal. It tells your mind, this is real. We've begun. And once you begin, momentum takes over. One day, you'll look back on this decision and realize it was the day your life changed forever. Not because the world changed, but because you did. You chose. You committed. You began. And that was enough. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. And change begins with a decision. Your mind is the factory. Whatever you think about all day long produces the ingredients of your future. You want a new life? Then change your mind. That's where it starts. Not in your wallet. Not in your schedule. Not even in your relationships. It starts up here in your thinking. Because you can't build a new life with the same old thoughts. You can't create a better future with a belief system that's stuck in the past. You've got to renew the mind before you rebuild the life. Want to know what's going on inside someone? Look at what's happening around them. Because your outer world is always a reflection of your inner world. If your life is cluttered, your thinking probably is too. If your habits are sloppy, your mindset might be undisciplined. If you're stuck, it's not the world that's holding you back, it's your own beliefs. As you think, so you become. The good news? You can change your thoughts. You can upgrade your philosophy. You can rewire your mind to think like someone who deserves more. Whether you realize it or not, you've been constructing a belief system since you were a child. Every word you heard, every experience you had, every voice that told you what was possible, it all helped build a mental framework. Some of it was good. Some of it needs to go. You picked up thoughts like, I'm not good enough. People like me never make it. I'll always struggle with money. And you didn't just hear it, you believed it. And belief is powerful. Belief becomes behavior. You can't outperform your mindset. If you believe you're average, you'll act average. If you believe you're unworthy, you'll push away success. If you believe success is for other people, you'll never go after it with full force. The mind is like a garden. You can cultivate it or let it grow wild. You must become the gardener of your mind, weeding out what's toxic, planting what's productive, and feeding it with truth. Now, here's the trick. You don't get rid of negative thinking by fighting it. You replace it. Start small. Start slow. But be consistent. If you've been thinking, I'm not good with money, change that too. I'm learning how to manage money wisely. If you've been thinking, I can't do this, say instead, I'm becoming the kind of person who can. You see, you don't need to lie to yourself, but you do need to lead yourself. Affirmation without discipline is the beginning of delusion, but affirmation with action, that's the beginning of change. You brush your teeth every day. You eat every day. You charge your phone every day. So why not feed your mind every day? Make it a ritual. Read something wise. Speak something empowering. Reflect on something meaningful. A new mindset isn't built in one day. It's built through repetition, through intention, through practice. Discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built. And that includes the discipline of the mind. The mind is sensitive. It's easily shaped. So you have to guard what gets in. Ask yourself daily, what am I listening to? Who am I around? What am I saying to myself? You wouldn't let a stranger dump garbage in your living room. So don't let negativity dump into your mind. Protect your peace. Limit toxic voices. Surround yourself with excellence. The environment you allow will shape the life you live. Let's say you want to start a new life. Better health. Better income. Better relationships. Then stop thinking like your past self. Start thinking like the future you. The one who's already there. Ask, how would the best version of me think today? What decision would they make in this situation? How would they speak, act, respond? Because you become what you rehearse. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your mindset. Here's the truth, plain and simple. Your life won't change until your thinking does. But the moment you start feeding your mind, the moment you start reprogramming what you believe, the moment you take control of your inner world, your outer world starts to shift too. Slowly, surely, powerfully. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. If you work hard on your job, you'll make a living. Work hard on yourself, you'll make a fortune. And friend, that includes your mind. That's where it starts. That's where it always starts. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. When people think about starting a new life, they often imagine one giant leap, one massive action, one big break. But the truth is, it's not the big things. It's the small ones, done daily, done deliberately, done with discipline. A new life doesn't arrive overnight. It's built one routine at a time. Now I know discipline isn't flashy. It doesn't get applause, but it works. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's the quiet engine behind every successful transformation. Think about this. Anyone can be inspired for a day. Anyone can work hard for a week. But real change? That's created by systems, not spurts. That's why we need routines. Small daily actions that compound over time. Let me tell you a secret. The small things are the big things. One glass of water instead of soda. 1 hour of reading instead of scrolling. One early morning instead of hitting snooze. Do those small things for one day. Not much changes. But do them for a month. You start to feel it. Do them for a year. You won't even recognize your old life. Why? Because small hinges swing big doors. Let's start with your morning routine. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. You don't need to run 10 miles or do yoga on a mountain. But you do need structure. And you need a moment just for you. Try this. Start your morning with quiet. Reflect or journal for a few minutes. Read 10 pages of something inspiring. Set your top 3 priorities for the day. That's it. Simple, but powerful. Because how you start the day often determines how you finish it. Don't start your day until you've finished it on paper. Here's something I love to teach. Routine is the backbone of success. And building a new routine is like stacking bricks, one on top of the other. Slow, steady, deliberate. Want to get healthy? Start with water. Then a walk. Then add sleep discipline. Want to build wealth? Start tracking your expenses. Then save a little each week. Then begin investing small. No rush. Just rhythm. Because it's not speed that transforms your life. It's consistency. Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying the basic fundamentals. Don't build routines for the sake of being busy. Build routines that align with your vision. Ask, does this habit serve the person I want to become? If yes, keep it. If no, cut it. You want a new life? Then make sure your habits match your future. Because habits are like autopilot settings. Once they're in place, they guide you even when motivation fades. Set your routines up so well that even on a bad day, you still move forward. Here's something to be aware of. The old life will try to pull you back. You'll miss a day. You'll fall into an old habit. You'll hear the voice that says, see, you haven't changed at all. But let me remind you, one bad day doesn't erase a good pattern. One slip doesn't cancel the progress. Failure is not a single cataclysmic event. You don't fail overnight. Instead, failure is a few errors in judgment, repeated every day. So is success, but in reverse. A few smart choices, repeated, relentlessly. This is big. Don't just build routines based on what you want. Build them based on who you are becoming. I drink water because I'm someone who takes care of their body. I save money because I'm financially responsible. I read every morning because I value wisdom. You're not just changing what you do. You're changing who you are. That's what makes a new life stick. Here's what I've learned. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your routines. So build strong ones. Simple ones. Ones that support your future. Motivation gets you going. Discipline keeps you growing. A new life isn't found. It's built. And the blueprint is called routine. Brick by brick. Day by day. And before you know it, you've created a life you're proud of. You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. Let's bring it all together. We've talked about awareness. We've talked about decision. We've talked about discipline. We've talked about routine. But here's the secret that holds it all together. You must become the person who deserves the life you want. That's how you achieve everything. That's how you make the dream real. Not by wishing, not by waiting, but by becoming. Here's what most people miss. You don't attract what you want. You attract who you are. You want more success? Then become more valuable. You want better relationships? Become more trustworthy, more kind, more whole. You want financial freedom? Become more disciplined, more focused, more responsible. Success is something you attract by the person you become. See, the world responds to character, to habits, to mindset, to identity. Work hard on your job, you'll make a living. Work hard on yourself, you'll make a fortune. Most people focus on external achievement, but the achievers, they focus on internal transformation. They understand that the real work is becoming the kind of person who's ready for success. Not just hoping for opportunities, but becoming the kind of person who can handle them, who can keep what they gain, who doesn't just visit success, but lives there. Want to know the real formula for success? Be, do, have. First, you become. Then, you do what that kind of person would do. And then, you have what that kind of person deserves. But most people live backwards. They say, when I have more money, I'll be disciplined. When I have more time, I'll get in shape. When I get the opportunity, I'll start preparing. It doesn't work that way. You don't wait to become the person. You become the person now, and everything else follows. Who are you becoming? Let's pause for a moment. Ask yourself, who am I becoming? Not just what do I want? Not just what am I doing? But who am I becoming? Because the person you become, that's what determines how far you go. If you want more, you have to become more. Success is not to be pursued. It is to be attracted by the person you become. Let's look at the habits you've built. What do they say about the kind of person you are becoming? Do your actions match your ambitions? Are your routines pulling you forward or keeping you stuck? You can say all the right things, but what you do every day, that's who you really are becoming. And the beauty is, you can rewrite it any time. Start thinking like the person you want to become. Start speaking like them. Start showing up like them. You'll be amazed how the world starts responding differently. Here's why this matters. If you become the person who earns success, you'll know how to keep success. But if success shows up before you're ready, you'll lose it. You must develop the character, the skills, the focus, the self-respect to sustain success once it arrives. That's why the process matters. It's not just about getting there. It's about being the kind of person who belongs there. Let your words reflect the person you are becoming. Let your actions back up your words. Don't join an easy crowd. You won't grow. Go where the expectations are high. Don't join an easy crowd. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Wake up and act like someone who's already successful. Move with discipline. Speak with belief. Walk with integrity. Not someday, but today. Because every time you show up as that person, you're training your brain. You're changing your identity. You're preparing your life to receive what you want. Here's how we end this journey. Your life is the project, but you are the builder. And the more you invest in you, the more you can build a life worth living. Not because it was easy, but because you became someone strong enough to earn it. Set a goal to become a millionaire, not for the money, but for what it will make of you to achieve it. So dream big, act daily, and most of all, become. Because who you become That's how you achieve everything you've ever wanted. Don't ask for it to be easier. Ask for you to be better. And now, friend, you know what to do. You've heard the message. You felt the call. You've seen the path forward. A new life doesn't begin with chance. It begins with choice, a decision, a commitment, a quiet but powerful shift in direction. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for someone to rescue you. And don't wait until the feeling is just right. Any day you wish, you can change your whole life. Start now. Start where you are, with what you've got. And most importantly, with who you are becoming. Remember, it's not the conditions that determine your future. It's your decisions. It's your habits. It's your mindset. And it's your identity. You can have a better life. You can rewrite the story. You can walk a new path. And if you keep going, if you stay committed, if you build yourself brick by brick, day by day, habit by habit, then someday soon, you'll wake up and say, this is the life I chose. This is the life I built. And I become the person I was meant to be. And that will make all the difference. Your new life begins today.